out here tonight. It's good to see everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
In the back? Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit first about the sacred native drum, and then I'm going to share a personal story as well. And then at the end, I'm actually going to play the drum, so you're actually going to get to hear the drum. So before I start to talk,
Put the microphone
a little closer.
Closer. I don't think people out there can.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to share a quote from Jamie Sams that talks about the drum and the rhythm. Everybody can hear me okay? Thumbs up? Okay. When we think about drum and the rhythm, the drum that marks the heartbeat of our Mother Earth, consistently reminding us who gave us birth. The rhythm of connection, pulse of flame and fire, the perfect reflection of our heart's desire. Jamie Sams. I want to share a little bit about this particular drum. As Lyndon mentioned, this particular one came to my attention probably end of last year. It's not my first drum, but it's one of my favorites right now. And it's circular in motion, or in circular shape, and it is in motion. This particular one is buffalo hide, and it is connected to a grandmother drum project with a community in Homer, Alaska. This particular one, there are many drums that were created that are traveling around the world drumming for peace, an international peace project. And what I love about the construction of this particular drum, it's kind of hard to juggle the microphone and the drum.
Hold the microphone
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah, thank you. Just for a second. Okay, thank you. I wanted to share, because in the Native tradition, the drums are created in a very sacred ceremonial way. So you can see the handheld in the center is the cardinal directions. And if you notice, the webbing is like the 4 quadrants of our heart. So the drum has a very significant connection to our heart and the rhythm of life. So I wanted to share that with you before I play the drum, because of course it's going to be turned the other direction. Thank you. But before I play the drum, I want to share a personal story with you and how I came to even understand or know about the drum. As you can notice, I'm pretty white in color with green eyes. So when I first started getting kind of a feeling for the Native tradition, as you can imagine, that was a little bit odd for me. So it's like, okay, let me kind of go into this and explore a little bit more and look into my lineage. But I want to share a story. In 1997, which kind of fast forward to the drum scenario, I was in New York training or facilitating a change management program. And there was a group of people that were going to go back and have to lay off some employees. So you can imagine that was kind of a tough task ahead of them. So this is a little emotional, so if my voice gets a little crackly. But about 2 hours into the program, there was a knock on the door. And I thought, well, that's a little odd. So this knock on the door, I was called to an office. And when I got to this office, I saw my family there. And it was a little odd, but they were looking very somber. And so on that particular day, I was given the news that my 17-year-old son had died in a car accident. My only child, senior in high school. So you can imagine my rhythm, my heart stopped that day. So there was a lot of regeneration in my life in that moment, in those opportunities. And as odd as it seems, there was a part of me that was going, but what about my class? What about my students? You know, when you're in a kind of an unusual situation like that, I'm sure they were taken care of. I can only imagine. They were there thinking about how they were going to handle these employees, but then they had this situation from a person that was facilitating their class. So fast forward, about 3 years later, I was in the Grand Canyon, in this beautiful little boutique, and I heard the flute, the Native American flute. So those of you that have ever heard the flute, it's amazing, it's beautiful. And I have to say, I don't think I heard it, I think I felt it. I think I felt it in my bones and just through my entire being. And it was like, ooh, after going through this trauma, it was like, hey, I felt something, that's kind of cool. Because that had been a while, because I've been numb for a bit after that tragedy. And then that evening at the hotel, there were Native dancers performing. It was a youth group. And there was drumming. There were drums. And I heard the drums, and I felt the drums. And again, it was like, this is kind of bizarre. I don't know any Native people, but I'm really kind of feeling this. So that took me on a journey of regeneration and revitalization. And I'm very grateful to have learned that I am Cherokee lineage and Lakota. And as you can imagine, that's still quite confusing because it's like, I kind of don't look like them. But it's another good way to say, don't question when something happens or comes to us, looks different than what we expect it to look, but know what's on the inside. That counts. So over a journey of learning more about the Native drum and the project and the Peace Project, I'm looking for opportunities and excited about what is going to unfold for our community. And as I also in that exploration met a Cherokee elder, Will Rocking Bear, north of Asheville, and studied with him for a number of years until he crossed over. And there were so many beautiful ceremonies and all about community. So if we think about community and how we come together, there are times when the community holds and nurtures who needs to be held and cared for. And then when those individuals are healed enough and well enough to come back and give to the community. So I'm certainly grateful to be here and have shared this story with you this evening. So I'm going to ask everyone to take in a deep breath. Take in a deep breath and release. And then drop from your head and your thoughts down into your heart. And enjoy the drum.